Good morning, my YouTube viewers. It's Crystal here. I'm just here because I wanted to do a code review for you. Because I wanted to find out if the decision tree made from scratch is better than the decision tree on sklearn. So that's exactly what this code review is about today. And so I got the code from this website right here. So you can look on that. It's a GitHub account, and that's where I actually got the code. But what we're going to do is we're going to compare the code with sklearn's decision tree and see which one is better. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to import our libraries of pandas as PD. That's your data processing library that creates your data frame. And then I'm going to import NumPy as NP. That's your numerical library. And we're going to import math, which is an inbuilt Python library, just in case we need any of the math functions. And then we're also going to import sklearn as and when it's needed. So we're going to import the data sets. So from sklearn.datasets import load iris. That's a toy dataset in sklearn. So iris equals load underscore iris. And then data equals PD data frame. Iris equals iris dot data. Columns equals iris dot feature names. So basically, and then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to say data target equals iris dot target, and then you've got your data here, which is a data frame of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns, the 5th column being the target. And if you'll notice, the targets are all, what shall we say, it's you've got all the zeros and then all the ones and then all the twos. So that's not really suitable for making a prediction. So what I did was I shuffled the data frame, and that's why I had to actually convert this NumPy array into a data frame so I could shuffle it. And then when I shuffled the data frame, you notice that the index numbers are all shuffled and the targets are all shuffled, but each entire row is shuffled, which is what I wanted. So I plotted a graph onto the iris data set. So this is what the graph looks like. So the U is the target, the height is 6. Excuse me, it's early in the morning. You made a scatter plot with the sepal length and the petal length, and then we have the legend. So this is where all of the data points fit in memory. So now this is your made from scratch decision tree, and I've been studying the decision tree dynamics in another video, but this is just too much for me to go into. But you've got your class node, so that's one of your classes, and then they have to use object-oriented programming to do this. And unfortunately, I haven't learned object-oriented programming yet, but maybe one day I will learn object-oriented programming. Then you've got your class decision tree classifier. So within the class decision tree classifier, you've got functions as well. You've got your def init, and then your def build tree, your def get best split, your def split, your def information gain. So that's one thing that I've been studying. Your def entropy, that's another thing I've been studying. Your def Gini index, that's another thing I've been studying. Your def calculate leaf value, your def print tree, your def fit, your def predict, and you make prediction. So those are all of the functions within the decision tree classifier. So it is very complex, and he does use, I believe that he uses object-oriented programming for it, but because I think that he might use object-oriented programming, I can't be sure. But that's how he did it. And obviously, I don't want to sit here and talk about his code. I'm showing you this guy's code. So I certainly didn't make the code. But you can look on the website, on his website, and you can see the code if you want the code. And then so basically we define our X and our Y values. So your X value is the data frame, everything except the last column. And the Y value is just the last column, and you have to reshape it. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to use train test split to split the X and Y values into training and test sets. And the test set is going to be 20%. And I went ahead and shuffled it. But so basically in this program we shuffled it twice. We shuffled it the first time at the beginning of the program, and then in train test split they have a mechanism where you can shuffle it as well. So I decided to go ahead and shuffle it in the train test split as well. So we're going to go through the made from scratch decision tree classifier. So it says min samples split is 3, max depth is 3, classifier fit x, classifier dot fit brackets x train comma y train, classifier print tree. So this is the tree that it prints out. So he's actually printing the tree out for you. And then you get your y pred equals classifier dot predict x test. And so, and now what we're going to do is we're going to calculate the accuracy. And so we've calculated the accuracy, and we have a 93% accuracy. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do sklearn's decision tree classifier. From sklearn import tree, model equals tree dot decision tree classifier brackets dot fit x train comma y train, y pred equals model dot predict x test. And then now we check the accuracy, and again we get 93% accuracy. And you can also print your tree, and so this is your tree that it prints out, and this is the really tiny little tree that it's printed out that you can barely see it, but you can print the tree out. And so like when we have compared the made from scratch decision tree classifier with the sklearn's decision tree classifier, both of the readings were exactly the same. Got 93% on both of them. But what I might do is minimum sample split 3. Just do this here, see what happens. Change it to 2 and see what happens. Wow. So I changed it to 2 and I got 100% accuracy. But let's just check decision tree classifier. min sample split, I'll say max depth, I'll make that 2. I'll make that exactly what was on the made from scratch decision tree classifier. So I'll make max depth is 2 and see what happens. See what happens. Well, it improved it to 96. It didn't make it 100% accurate, but let's try restart and run all. It was 100% accuracy. So, with if you change the min sample split to 2 and the max depth to 2, you got 100% accuracy. So that's good. And then so actually the made from scratch decision tree worked a little bit better than the sklearn decision tree with exactly the same parameters. So I'm going to go ahead and close this video because we conducted our analysis and we've determined that with the exact same parameters, the made from scratch decision tree works slightly better than sklearn's decision tree. And I hope you enjoyed this code review. I hope you got something out of it, because that's what the code reviews are all about, for you to go over the code with me. And then when we go over the code, it gives me a chance to change the code in the program and see how it works. So I'm going to go ahead and conclude the video since we've completed the code review. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share. And I'd like to thank my subscribers for supporting my channel.